Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I generally make art videos, so if you like that sort of thing, you should stick around. You know, like and subscribe and all that sort of jazz that YouTubers generally say. I guess this is a good moment to say thank you to all of you. Since as I'm recording this, we're at 49 subscribers. Oh dear, almost 50. Well, that went fast. I wouldn't have expected it to go this fast. Really, thank you for all your support. I'm really happy that you seem to be enjoying these videos. So, to celebrate this little milestone, I thought I would share something a little bit different with you. Normally, you see me making traditional art, and today I'm going a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm drawing something on my iPad, as you might have noticed by now. For me, drawing on Procreate is still a little unusual because I'm really someone who likes everything traditional. I like film photography, and I like vinyl, and I like paper and books and all of that. But I also enjoy trying out new things, so at the moment I'm trying to learn a little bit more about digital art and especially digital coloring. And a while back I found a channel on YouTube by K. Michael Russell, and he has so many good coloring videos. I think everything I have learned about digital coloring so far I've learned from him, and I have to admit that it isn't a lot, to be honest. I'm still very much a beginner with this, but I'm having fun, and that's probably the most important thing. At this point, I'm assuming that some of you might like this less than my watercolor pieces or my Copic drawings. And then there are probably some who like this more. It's just that we have different preferences, and that's all okay. When I showed this to one of my friends who actually has one of my watercolor paintings in his house, he didn't like it much. He said it looks like everything else on DeviantArt. Personally, I've never spent much time on DeviantArt, so I wouldn't know. In any case, I didn't mind much that my friend didn't like it. When you've been sharing your work online for as long as I have, you start to think that people simply have different tastes, and that's okay. The main reason why I painted this was because I wanted to practice painting fire. I hadn't done that before, and it was a nice challenge for me. I tried a candle before, but nothing as big as this fire here coming from the flamethrower. The idea behind this is actually that the object is glass and the cat is working on it with a flamethrower, because when you're making stuff with glass, things have to get hot. I don't know, we had just seen something with flamethrowers in it, some series, and that's just what came out of my subconscious, I suppose. Glowing things are definitely a bit easier to paint than in watercolors, because in watercolors you can't really overpaint things, and that means you have to plan up front where all the lighter bits go and so on. Whereas here I was doing it the opposite way. I was starting with the darkest values and then going lighter as I went. And since I was already far outside my comfort zone, I decided to make things even more difficult for myself by drawing the background in perspective. I've learned some cool perspective drawing tricks from a book called How to Draw by Scott Robertson. It's a really very technical book, but I somehow managed to figure out some stuff from the explanations in the book. The explanations are okay-ish, but it helps to know a lot about perspective already beforehand, which kinda makes this a circular exercise. He definitely lost me at ellipses, so I probably have to go back to other resources to figure those out. But without that book, I never would have figured out how to do the foreshortening in this particular construction. because for some reason I had to divide things by 3 instead of halving them, you know, just to make things a little bit more challenging for myself. I kinda always do that. I can't really do it the easy way. I need to have some sort of challenge or I get bored. So if you're trying to learn about these sorts of difficult things, perspective and all, then I think the best resources would be Drawbox. I learned a lot from that. It consists in drawing many boxes. And this book by Scott Robertson is also very good if you manage to figure it out. I think using more than one resource is probably the best strategy in this case, because this gets very technical very fast and one explanation might not be enough. And then of course the more strange curves you might have in your scene, things get even more complicated and, well, you can make things infinitely complicated with perspective. I try to keep it somewhat simple. Only straight lines, no curves, and so on. Well, let me know what you think of this drawing, and if you want to see more digital drawings perhaps. If not, that's okay too. I'm definitely going to continue with my watercolors. That's really the most fun for me. But I like to have a change every now and then too. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was a bit shorter than usual. And well, if you did, then maybe consider liking and subscribing. I'm already over the moon with my 50 subscribers. But you know, this is YouTube. Like and subscribe, you know. I might as well say it. With the usual YouTube stuff out of the way, I would like to thank you again for all your support. And of course, thanks for watching. Next time I'll be drawing something traditional again, and I hope I see you back here for that. Bye!